We need to help our teenagers break this cycle, this addiction that they have to technology and social media. And this is what I'm talking about today. So, welcome to another episode as I speak about technology, the internet, and young people. And my name is Roland. And last week I spoke about teenagers and how we can identify if they are addicted to social media and the internet. And today I want to speak about how we can help them to break this cycle, to break the addiction that they have to social media, to their devices. And this is so important. And as we're talking about this topic, it's also important to think about cause and symptom, because when it comes to addiction to the internet, we need to think about, is it a cause or is it a symptom? And what I mean by cause is, have they been online so much that is caused this addiction to the internet? And if that is the case, we need to deal with it. We need to manage their screen time. We need to help them manage their screen time, because there are researchers out there that show that the more time that children get to spend online, that this makes them prone to being addicted to social media, to depression, to a low self-esteem, and so many other things. And we need to manage this and know this. And by symptom, they being online, is it just a symptom of something deeper that's happening? Maybe they have a low self-esteem, or at home things are not right, and then they go to social media. That's a symptom, and we need to be aware of that. Why? So we can speak into this, so we can help them. And again, it's so important in the grand scheme of things, especially addiction, that we know these things, cause or symptoms. And let's get into some ways that we can help them to get over or to break this cycle of addiction that they have to social media and their devices. And the first thing is, which I spoke about in detail last week, is their relationship to technology. We need to know what their relationship to technology is, what apps they like, what sites they go on, where they struggle on, what they can't break. We need to know all these things. What is their relationship to technology? And again, I used a whole episode to speak about this. And then the next thing is that we need to do is open lines of communication. And this is so important. Our young people, our teenagers need to know that they can come to us and speak to us about anything, especially when it comes to social media and technology. And they can't be afraid to speak to us about these things. Maybe they're going through something online, and they need to be able to come to speak to us and not think, who else can they speak to beside us? We need to open the lines of communication, and it will help us as well to speak to them about ways that can help them in whatever they are dealing with when it comes to technology and social media. The next thing is, we need to set clear boundaries, and children need boundaries. I think this is a definite, and that I don't need to touch on too much, but we need to set clear boundaries and expectations of what we expect when it comes to social media for them, because with that, then they know what they can do and what they can't do. And this will also help us when they break the rules, so to speak. This can inform us into what they are struggling with, right? And we can speak into that and help them in this area. The next thing is that we need to help them as far as to know who they are and to boost their self-confidence and their self-esteem. Where are they going to for that? And again, I spoke about this last week. They need to have a healthy self-image and self-confidence about themselves from us. And we need to teach them the correct way to get those things, right? If it's from God, especially from the Bible, right? Way about the identity that in God, they can find their true identity, and not from people and not from social media and all these things. But we need to teach them that, and they cannot be going to social media to find their identity or to find who they are or to find people that love them. That, as you can tell, is not a good place to be at. And then the last thing is, and I want to talk in depth about this next week, and this is to lead by example. And this is so important, but it's not as black and white as it seems, right? Because this situation, technology hasn't been with us, or social media hasn't been, or smartphones haven't been with us for hundreds of years where there is a blueprint on how to deal with this. No, it hasn't. It's just a few years old, right? And we are dealing with this. Our kids are dealing with this. We are on a path. They are on a path. We are dealing with things. We are getting to grips with some things, and they are too. But along the way, we have adopted some bad habits. And again, we need to deal with that. We need to confront those things, because how can we then speak and help our kids when we're dealing with the very same things? For example, we could be telling our kids to get off their phones when they're at dinner, but guess what? We have our phone, or we are on a call when there's a dinner time, and that's a set thing, right? When we eating, we are on our phones, we are on social media. So how are we going to tell our children not to be on social media when we are doing the very same thing? And especially teenagers, they are clever. They see duplicitousness. So if we're going to challenge them, if we're going to make impact in their lives, if we're going to help them on this journey, then there are some things that we're going to need to confront, even no matter as hard as they are. Confront them and deal with them. But like I said, I want to speak more in detail about this next week, because it's not as black and white as it seems to be. This is a new territory. This is a new battle that we are facing. But we need to lead by example. So I've come to the end of this episode. I cannot wait to talk about this in detail next week, leading by example. I hope you really enjoyed this episode, and thank you for spending this little time with me. I really appreciate it. And as I end, I have some exciting news. I have started a program to teach kids how to be amazing people online. And this weekend on Saturday, I am starting to talk about safety, and I will have online and offline sessions. But this Saturday, I'm starting my first virtual session. So if you have children from the age of 7 to 13 years of age, then this is the lesson, or this is the session for you. And in this session, I talk about safety and some things about safety. So I hope you can send your kids to this online session. If you need more info, just contact me, send me a message, or if you know my number, send me a message. I will send you all the details that you need. But with that, I've come to the end of this episode. I will see you next week, and goodbye.